Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Do You Know Minecraft, the show where we learn interesting facts about the game, and in this one we're going to go over 25 things that changed in 1.9. Now as far as I know, all of these changes happened in the development of Minecraft 1.9, and it's quite likely that you will know about some of the changes shown in this video, as a secret isn't a secret if you know about it. So I've picked out 25 of the more obscure changes that may have gone unnoticed or unmentioned in the development logs of the game. So don't go ham if you consider some of these to not be a secret, just enjoy the video, refresh your Minecraft knowledge, and of course, count how many out of the 25 you didn't know about. Our first change is with the beacon and the effect that it gives the player, specifically for how long it gives it to that player. So at the moment we have resistance. If we have a look here, this is refreshing with 16 seconds of resistance, and if you remember in Minecraft 1.8 that would only be 8 seconds. Now this is based on the size of the beacon, so if we remove a block from the bottom layer, making the bottom layer invalid, then this will now refresh for 14 seconds of resistance. There you go, and if we do it again on this layer, it will now only refresh for 12 seconds. So now the amount of resistance or whatever effect you've selected that you get is based on the size of the beacon as well. So at this size, it's only going to last for 10 seconds. So if you played this game for more than 5 minutes, you'll probably know that you can place Lilypads and water. That's a pretty common fact, but now in Minecraft 1.9 you can place it on top of ice as well, and the hitbox of the Lilypad has been made slightly bigger as well. Unfortunately you can't place it on packed ice. You can see I'm right clicking but nothing's happening, and you can also place it on frosted ice as well. At the moment I have Frostwalker enchantment on, and we can put the Lilypads on top of that, and then when we walk away and it melts into water, it's going to stay on top of there as well. According to Wikipedia, the source of knowledge that anyone in the world can edit, the natural habitats of a rabbit could include meadows, woods, forest, grasslands, wetlands and deserts, which was news to me. Being from wet and old rainy England, I thought that our rabbits would be very unlikely to be found in a desert, but like in Minecraft 1.9, these yellow rabbits can now be found everywhere as they will naturally spawn in these deserts. And now they're of course being camera shy. There you go, a little baby one over here, another one over there, and as we fly around you can see they're basically sort of all over the place. Is this a secret change? Probably not, because shulkers have been added in this update as opposed to being changed, but this is something I definitely want to share with you. Right now we're in peaceful mode and you can see that the shulkers are not attacking us. Now if we go into difficulty 1, which is easy mode, you'll see that they'll get aggressive and start to attack us. So the thing that I wanted to point out here is that the shulkers don't despawn when you're in peaceful mode, they just choose not to attack you. And now they're going to be attacking each other, which is something else that shulkers can do. There you go, look at that. 2 of them are attacking each other, amazing. And now I'm probably going to fall to my death. So, Minecraft 1.9 will be known for many things, and one of those is all the sounds that are added, including the killer bunny, which got its own unique attack sound, and I found out a funny little thing about the killer bunny. Here's his attack sound, but because we're in difficulty 0, or peaceful mode, he can't actually do any damage to us. So another hostile mob that can exist in peaceful mode. So you know what the Frostwalker enchantment is, right? You saw it earlier in this video. It can turn water into frosted ice, which will melt back to water. And I've got myself a pair of boots right here that have level 100 on them. Now you can't get this in survival or creative mode. I've used an external tool to create these boots, and there's no real practical use other than having a lot of fun. As you can see, the radius of effect here is pretty massive, and it causes a fair bit of lag in the game as well. But it's pretty cool to see that you can do that, and I think the range may go even bigger as well. But that's something that you can do that you may not have known about. In this update, many hitboxes were changed, and that includes the players when they're sneaking. The player will now be 1.8 blocks tall, which means you can go through a gap like this. And here we are in 1.8. I also happen to be in the Nether, and we're going to hold down shift and you'll see we won't be able to get through this gap. So did you know that haste affects the speed at which your weapon can recharge for use again? You can see to the right of the hotbar is the meter right there. So we're going to give ourselves haste 1 and it's noticeably faster, but the real way to demonstrate this is if we give ourselves haste 100 and then it's practically instant. Look at that. So a cool little tip right there. Haste will affect your attacking speed, making beacons even more useful. So what's going to happen to this armor stand when we power that piston? It's going to sink, unfortunately. However, if it has Frostwalker on, it can actually go across the water. Check this out. That is amazing. Again, you might not consider this one a change, but it's a little thing you should know about. In Minecraft 1.9 they added something called Mending, and you can hold a broken pick in your offhand while you're mining with the one in the other hand, and it will get repaired. This is at 171 at the moment. If we mine through these diamonds and pick up all of the XP, you can see the pick moving on the left side of my screen, and when we go back to it, it's of course going to be repaired. So what did it have? 171, and now it's up to 241. Another smart little feature added in this update was the inclusion of an F3 menu screen. If you press F3 and Q, it'll bring up this little menu. Now I'm not going to read each of them out to you, but there are two that I thought were really cool to show you. They've been in the game, of course, before. F3 and B will show you the collision boxes or the hitboxes of the mobs and where they're looking as well. And if you press F3 and H, it will be able to display extra information on the tools. So if ever you've wondered how you can see the durability right there, it's done by pressing F3 and H. If I press it again, you can see the information is hidden. This next one is a small change, but I like it. It's one of the things that have annoyed me, and you may not even notice it, but if you're on, let's say, a server chatting away to your friends, well, the chat box right here used to go across where the hearts were, which sometimes made it a little bit difficult to look at. And a nice little thing they've done is just push it up so you can always see your hearts. Do you see anything different? Have you noticed any changes? All of the stair blocks right here have been rotated to face the opposite direction. Let's look at that in 1.8. You won't believe it until you've seen it, right? There you go, all the stairs used to face the other direction. No idea at all why they chose to change that, but it's something that they did. If you haven't heard of the floating water trick, then you've got no idea why this ice is next to this torch. But basically this is eventually going to melt the ice, it's going to turn into water, and it's going to float there, allowing us to remove the torch, which won't update the water. Unfortunately, they decided in 1.9 to patch this, and when this melts, it's just going to spread everywhere. Now there's also a rumour going around that you can do this with Frostwalker as a way to overcome it, so I'm going to demonstrate to you that that's not the case. If we turn this by moving around into ice, then we remove the block down below, and there you go, that one has melted and updated. This one is unfortunately going to do the same. So, all in due time, there you go, it melts, and you can't do it with a Frostwalker enchantment. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, my friend. It's a real shame they took that one out of the game. I really like that bug. Oh yeah, and that reminds me, you can also use buckets to take water out of a cauldron now. However, I don't get my bucket of water. I think that might be a bug. I'm pretty sure that worked in one of the snapshots. So here's another important change, something that happened in the development stage of 1.9. Of course, we got tipped arrows, and this used to work with the infinity enchantment, which was something I was really looking forward to, as it would kind of be a way to have infinite potions, right? However, even in creative mode as well, when you fire one of these off, unfortunately the infinity effect, which we have on this bow, isn't going to work with those tipped arrows, which I think is a real shame. That would have been a cool little thing to have. But oh well, it was probably very overpowered. In 1.9, the way that loot was generated into chests in dungeons has been changed, and this means if you're in spectator mode and no one's already opened those chests, you can't open them either. You get this error message, unable to open, loot not generated yet. Did you know that there was a new type of mob cage that can be found in a dungeon? It is the zombie villager. I found one right here. They're not particularly rare, it seems. However, I've created a world where these are very, very common, and you can see in the middle there, just hanging out, is the zombie villager. So Endermen, they're notorious for picking up blocks and destroying the terrain around your base, but now in 1.9 when you kill them, they're going to drop the block that they're holding. There you go, iron block on the ground, gold block on the ground, and the diamond block as well. There's a new item in the redstone tab of your creative inventory, and it's the trap chest. For the longest time it was in decoration blocks. I don't know why, probably because the regular chest was there, but now it's been moved into the redstone tab, which is probably where it should have been all along. It's night time, and you're probably wondering what is up with the video right now. I've changed my field of view to Quake Pro, and that's to demonstrate what happens when we're sleeping in a bed. You can see my body is now visible. This wasn't here before in 1.8. Let's do that once more. There you go, you can see us laying down in the bed, and the reason that I changed the field of view is because in the normal mode, right there, you can just about make out the bottom of your legs. But there you go, you can see yourself sleeping in a bed. If we go into the game menu, into options, music and sounds, you can see that there is a new slider down the bottom here. This one is called voice/speech, which might be a little bit confusing, but to let you know what this is, it's for custom map makers who want to include like narratives or storylines in their games, so you'll be able to adjust the narration volume that you hear when you're playing those custom maps. This next fact is to do with hostile mob spawning, and in order to show this to you, I'm going to create a super flat world to demonstrate that they can't spawn on rails. So we've got a preset here that's going to create a world with just rails on top. So that means if ever a mob could spawn, it would be on a rail, which they won't be able to do. So let's create this world and see if any mobs spawn. So hostile mobs won't spawn in this light level, so if we set it to nighttime, we should now see some mobs spawn, and I don't see anything at all. In order to properly demonstrate this though, we should prove that mobs can actually spawn in this world. So we're going to remove some of the rails over here, and then we're going to take a step back, and we should see some mobs spawning. So I flew around for a bit. We got 4 skeletons, 2 spiders, and a zombie. And that should be proof that they're not able to spawn on rails. Not to be confused with how it was in the update before, where mobs didn't like to walk across rails. However, spiders don't seem to have a problem with it. Did you know that landing on hay bales could reduce the amount of fall damage that you take in 1.9? Well, it can reduce up to 80% of the fall damage that you normally receive when landing on hay bales. So this command block here is going to teleport us 100 blocks up into the sky, and we fall all the way down with half a heart. And notice that we got no armor on, and of course we're in survival mode as well. Now this one over here is going to teleport us up 23 blocks into the sky, and then we fall all the way down to half a heart. So you can see there's quite a big difference there. And to compare the two, we're going to stand on the hay bales now. We're going to teleport ourselves up by 23 blocks, and you can see this time you only take 2 hearts of damage. So they make a massive difference, and are going to be very useful in survival. And last of all, this update came with a whole bunch of new statistics. If we go into the statistics menu, the one you're most likely to notice is the distance by elytra that's been added. However, if you can scroll down, you'll see there's lots of very specific ones right here. For example, notebox tuned or droppers searched, and even interactions with beacons. All of these are tracked. And if we go into the blocks and items menu, you'll see there's 2 new columns here. We've got picked up for when you pick an item off of the ground, and dropped for when you drop one on the ground. So that's it from me, this episode of Do You Know Minecraft. If you have enjoyed it and you'd like to see another one with more secret facts, then leave a like on this video. Let me know just how much you want to see another one of those. And of course, down there in the comment box, leave a comment. Let me know how many out of the 25 you knew about. And if you've got any of your own secret facts that you want to share, of course, feel free to leave a comment. Anyway, that's going to be it from me this one. If you're new here on the channel, subscribe for more awesome Minecraft 1.9 content. And if you're new to this series, check out the playlist linked down below in the description box. Anyway, as I said, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.